Aston Villa midfielder Ross Barkley has admitted he cried when he left Everton Football Club. He's done an exclusive interview with The Athletic, looking back on his time as an Everton player, as well as everything else that's gone on from there. He made 179 appearances for the Toffees, scoring 27 goals. He said that it was a really hard decision to leave Everton Football Club. He'd been there since he was a boy. Talked about the hardships that his family had had, his mum. Even things like getting to and from training. He had to get buses and I'd wait late after training to get buses home. So Duncan Ferguson took him home sometimes from training, as well as a few other people as well from the training grounds. So David Moyes was really good with him as well when he suffered a leg break. He came to the house to reassure him that he was going to be offered a new contract, and still very much in the thoughts. And really frustrating what happened with Ross Barkley. He did discuss he didn't know whether he wanted to stay at Everton for his whole career, but at the time when he left, obviously there was issues with Ronald Koeman and things just around the city weren't great for him. He was getting himself involved in stuff he's probably, regrets now. And in fact, later on in the article, he does go on to say he's given up alcohol. He's not going to drink for the rest of his career, he said, and he wishes he'd have done this earlier in his career, because it would have kept him out of situations he found himself in that he wished he hadn't now. But just at that time when it looked as though he was about to sign a new deal, Ronald Koeman created an issue between him and he doesn't say this in the article as such, but I think it's well known now that there was a little bit of, a falling out between the two. And a wedge was sort of driven between him and the club, and agents being agents sort of manoeuvred that wedge further, it seemed like. And Ross went from being on the verge of signing a new long-term contract with the football club to leaving the football club for Chelsea. And I know a lot of Evertonians still haven't forgiven him, because he almost went in the August and then eventually did go for a smaller fee in the January, but it certainly wasn't all one way from his side there. But, still says you're a massive Evertonian and all of that. So he's been talking about that. It's in The Athletic if you're interested in reading more on his interview. According to reports today, James Garner is attracting interest from Newcastle United. The Everton midfield player, who was out of contract in the summer of 2026. He is thought to be in negotiations with the football club over a new long-term deal at Everton. He's been in outstanding form this season for the Toffees, playing in right back, left back, centre mid, scoring a goal as well against Brighton and looking like he could have added 2 or 3 more, and started Saturday's win against Fulham at right back, of course. But like I say, really stepped up to the plate this season, being in brilliant form. And I personally just can only see him signing a new deal with Everton rather than moving on. But according to reports today, Newcastle are monitoring the situation. They are admirers of the midfield player. Dwight McNeil is attracting interest from Wolves ahead of the January transfer window. The former Burnley winger is out of favour at Everton. He's only featured in 3 Premier League games this season, all as sub and sometimes just for a couple of minutes. He's widely tipped to leave the football club in January. A couple of other clubs, including Nottingham Forest, where his former Burnley manager and Everton manager, Sean Dyche, is now in charge there. Wolves, however, though, are currently bottom of the Premier League. They've not won a Premier League game. And Rob Edwards is just about to go in there. And apparently he is an admirer of McNeil. So we could see Dwight leaving the football club in January should a bid come in for him. And apparently Everton are interested in Brazilian midfielder Alan. That is according to reports in Spain and South America today. It isn't Alan who used to play for us. This one plays for Palmeiras, a Brazilian midfield player. He's 21 years of age. He can play centre mid and on the wing already this year, because their season sort of goes January through. He's featured 48 times this season and scored 8 goals. West Ham, Fulham also monitoring his situation, but big links to Everton Football Club today. So there you go. That is it for the News Daily. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to become a Toffee TV Premier member, link is in the description. QR code's on the screen now. See you later.